My bad. Can you guys hear me? I got an AirPod on. Make sure you guys can hear me. Yo, yo. Let me see. 1 minute. I gotta wait a minute for everything to go to high or what happened. Where we at? 40 seconds. Let's see, 8 people in. Salute. Can you hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Darwin, what's up? All right, good, good. Y'all can hear me good. I want to make sure. All right. Out here. I want to thank everybody. We get some more room. Excuse the chopper. That should get too fucking loud. Chopper going back and forth. What's going on? One thing. Moore's Live. I appreciate the people that came through. We didn't get a lot of people in the room. We probably only had about like 16, 17 people that actually participated. You know, it was, I think a little bit more than that. Probably like 40 people actually got it, but only like 17 showed up. A lot of people sent emails. I got the emails and alerts from you guys. A lot of people trying to make it. It's a difficult time, understand that, and gotta work. We got shit to do. So a lot of people will miss that live. But it was cool for the first live lecture. I had a lot more planned, but I didn't get the support I was hoping for. And we ran into a little technical issues with the whiteboard and everything, but I had already pre-recorded a lot of information. So when you guys get the actual DVD, the digital copy, you'll see like what was done ahead of time. So it's more than just the actual live stream on there. The lecture is also, pre-recorded video that I did earlier in the day to basically get more information, because I didn't want the live to go too long. I knew there was a lot of information to put on there, and it's a lot of extra stuff on there. So we talked about a lot that's in there. Greg, what's the deal? What it do, 3X dope? What's up, Francis? What's the deal? This is real time. That was the Nazim. Real time, bro, live. But it's like my 6th, 7th live right now, I think. I'm starting to get kind of used to it. Because it's the best way to get directly to you guys. Like, Tracy, what's the deal? Carbon, what's the deal? Carbon King 7. It's the best way to get directly to you guys, because, with the shadow ban, even still, there's a lot of people who are not going to get the alert. But with the shadow ban and everything, like, email problems, I'm finding out that live is like the best way to get multiple people on. Now, we got 45 people here right now, and it's in the chat. But I started to find out that there's actually like thousands of people watching, but only 40-something people participating in the chat. Because every time I get off, I see the views are like, over 1,000. So shout out to the other people who are not in the chat that just watching and not participating. I appreciate you guys just showing up, period. I know it's late over on the East Coast, so my bad for that. But you know, it's been a long day. The Blackamoors lecture is almost done editing. I'm in like the final rendering stages of it now. So it's going to really actually 100% release tonight. So you guys will get it. Everybody who copped it, you will get the download link tonight. It'll be done. So I appreciate you guys supporting and coming through for that. We talked about a lot in that video. A lot of stuff that some people had already known, but a lot of stuff people didn't know about the Blackamoors. And I wanted to basically differentiate between the Moors and the Blackamoors, and you know, the Berbers and Arab Moors, which basically all goes back to the same Moors, but they are separate. Because you got to understand what happened and took place during that time. Once there was the whole conquest, you know, of the Moors, and they fled into Europe, and the Europeans, or in England, called them the Blackamoors because they was already dealing with the Berber or Arab Moors. So how to separate them, they called them the Blackamoors, which makes it seem like they're separate people, but they are just from the Moors that fled out of Africa or Mauritania or Spain or what have you into England. Terry, what's the deal? I'm in Las Vegas. I'm at the MGM property. So you guys see MGM Grand right there. This is where we did the end up doing the live from. Yeah, so as a matter of fact, the link is in the description for the Blackamoors lecture, but I threw some extras in there. It's going to come with the first original Moors DVD, so you're going to get that, and you're also going to get Ancient History Volume 5 and 6, which has a lot of information pertaining to what we got into in the Moors. So you're going to get 4 videos for $19.99, so it's actually going to be less than what the lecture cost. So the link is in the description right now. Make sure you guys support and grab that. So what's going to happen is when you guys grab it now, you can download those 3 videos, and then later on tonight, it will be added to that link. So the Blackamoors video. So when you guys grab it, you'll have 3. And then later on tonight, go back to that link and you'll see the Blackamoors DVD will be there. Same way I did it with Saturn, Satan, and everything else. Yeah, like $20. Like it's like people are still upset, you know, about the whole book thing. I can understand that whole thing. A lot of people are upset about that. A lot of people still upset about the time frame with the flash drives or what have you. Everything that happened, everything that I explained before, you know, and all I could do is apologize, you know, for that situation. I know a lot of people didn't want to support because of it. A lot of people still waiting on books and everything like that. I'm still waiting for the process to be done myself. I lost a lot of money in the process, a lot of time, a lot of stress. So it's just a lot of people who, you know, some people just don't give a shit. Everything I've done is out the window as soon as I have a problem. Like, you know, all the information I put out, you know, everything I did before, you know, it's just nobody give a shit about once you have a problem. Once it's one issue, you know. So I sent out emails to a lot of people just explaining the situation, and people just email me back, fuck you. Seriously. I send out, like, you know, when I send out for the Blackamoors, like, people just email me back like crazy shit. So it's like I said, it's a few people that still sore about the whole thing or upset or think it was some type of scam that I was pulling or whatever. You know, so it is what it is, but, you know, I'll have my time to prove to everybody exactly what happened. It's just a matter of time on that. So it's gonna be a lot of salty ass people in the future once everything comes out and once everything starts going out. So, but you know, again, I understand, I get it. I'm not as much, you know, I'm not that crazy. I wouldn't rush to judgment that fast, but you know, everybody different. Yeah, like people think that I'm some type of like fucking, I don't know, man. Like black people don't like to see other black people do anything involving money and black people. They think because you black, you're supposed to give away everything you do for free. and I've given away a lot for free. And it's not even about giving shit away for free. It's about, damn, if I put the shit on YouTube for everybody, it's going to get taken down, which has been proven time and time again. So I have to resort to other platforms. Remember, Merkabah, I didn't start with Merkabah Academy. Merkabah Academy was created because of the fucking censorship on social media. So I had to create it to have somewhere to go to get people my full, all my information. And, you know, it's time consuming. Like this, I've been editing this video all day. This is going to be over 2 hours, people. This video, this Blackamoors, going to be over 2 hours. So it's probably going to be 3 hours, but it's a lot of information. There's a bunch of new stuff. I got into, so what a lot of people didn't realize, and this stuff that's been coming out lately, and that's one of the reasons why I did the video. What a lot of people are not realizing is, the Moors, as you know, was already in the Americas. I talked about this. So the Moors was in the Americas, right? But we already have in museums, right, document proof that they was already here. But not that they was already here, but they were here as the original Native Americans, right? The original Indians, they call them. So you gotta understand, and I showed this in the video, that they changed the Moors' name from Moors to Indians, which is fucking crazy. Because you gotta think about it. A lot of people say, oh, well, no, Columbus thought he was in India, so when he got to the Americas, they just called the natives there Indian because he thought he was in India. And you can't be a navigator. I mean, it sounds cool, but you can't be a navigator that has the name and background of Columbus, which the Rome sent him out there, sent them to Ferdinand and Isabella royalty to go out on this journey, which he got the information from Moors, which we get into that as well, and then make a mistake and go to India. And, you know, it don't make sense. It's just to cover up what happened, which we get into in the video. They changed the names. So we got the documentation. So they wanted to hide who these people was. So again, the real Native Americans was, of course, the Moors, who was just basically, they were living just like the Indians. We got the headdresses, we got all the proof, right? They were living like we see the so-called Native Americans that was living that way. Primitively, just like we see in Africa with the African tribes. That's how they was living. And then you had, just like we see in Africa where we had the kingdoms, we had the tribes. Same thing it was here in America. We had the tribes, and then you had who we call the Moors, the ones with the intellect, the knowledge, who built civilizations over here in America. So we get into all that. It's a lot of information, it's a lot. But I get into Henry VIII, having Moors working for him, documented, we got the proof of that. Oh yeah, the proof that Moors built the White House and the Capitol building, that's in the video as well. A lot of shit. We got proof of that. We have the actual proof of that. So that's something that, again, that they started to release and they're not covering up no more. But I'm gonna show you guys documentation of this in the video. So it's a lot. Let's see. Yeah, the link is in the description for you guys to grab, man. Like, it's $19.99. You're gonna get 4 videos. Like I said, I think only 40 people booked the fucking lecture, because a lot of it was because of people just not getting the links. You know, that was one of the issues. And just like I said, people just like, you know, whatever the reason may be, I don't fucking know. Like, you know, it was something that I thought we'd get more support on, but it's cool. But when you guys see the lecture, when you see the video, yeah, you're gonna be appreciative of it, because there's not too many people that's putting this information out. We got and this is stuff that's like you know, Ivan von Sertova and John Henry Clark talked about in their books, and we go a little bit deeper. So yeah, it's really good information you guys like. And like I said, the reason why I had to do this video is because they're starting to bring it up more. It's part of the argument as far as reparations for black people. That's part of the argument, because we got the proof. First of all, one, what the fuck? Like, we got documentation proof that fucking Moors, black people, built the fucking White House in the Capitol building, and they try to sweep it under the rug, but it's proof. So how they try to hide it is just try to, you know, kind of play it off and make it like, oh, they was paying, they had to pay the slave master. But how come we got documentation of black people supposedly slaves, which they're not called that? We'll get into the names in the video, funny ass names. But they got names and they're getting paid. And we got documents of these black people getting paid for their work on the White House and the Capitol building. What slave, you know, get paid? So think about that. It's a lot. Marcus, what's the deal? Oh, yeah. Excuse me, a little hot on here. Yeah, let me see. Let me go back and make sure I didn't miss. Hour 9, what's the deal? Binko Child, what's the deal? Darwin the Destroyer. What's going on like that name? Terry, what's up? Do 3 times dope. Yeah, a lot of people missed the election. A lot of people who bought missed, but a lot of people grabbed it to just to support and make sure they had a copy once it come out. So again, same thing with the you guys who ordered the lecture, you'll get, even though I know some of you guys are never paid members, you guys will still get the link for all this video just in case some of you are not. No, Carbon King, the link ain't sent out yet. So it's the link in the description in this video and live is for people to purchase it. But that's for the bundle. So it's actually going to be 4 videos. And then later on tonight, once this is, because I wanted to get out here before it got too late and do this live. But it's almost done editing and rendering. So tonight, it will release tonight for sure. So after this live, you know, give me probably a couple hours and you guys will get the download link tonight for sure. And everybody that buys the bundle today, you guys will get that link. It will be in that same bundle. So basically all you gotta do is go back in there and then you'll see it in there, just like I did with the Saturn Satan with the other 2 videos that came out. So and that's how that'll work. Mystic Akanan, what's the deal? So yeah, like a lot of information to get into in that whole lecture, and it's an eye opener when you start going back and looking at that history, the Moors history. I mean, they was everywhere. They was all over, and it's still so many different countries and cities that celebrate the Moors. And we get into the whole Saint Nick thing. I know you guys heard about that. Somebody asked me that question about Saint Nick, and yeah, Saint Nick definitely was real and existed. Saint Nicholas was a real saint, black saint, with the beard and everything. That's where they get Santa Claus. They have their whole festival in the Netherlands every December to celebrate Saint Nick and the Moors, and they dressed in blackface. And a lot of people protest that shit because they don't understand it. This, back in the day, a long time ago, was considered a tribute to the Moors and what they brought to the Netherlands when they came over. But now today it's looked at as, you know, a mockery of the Moors, you know, racism or what have you. People protest in the street. But the Netherlands have a lot of thanks to give to the Moors and what they brought to the Netherlands and Germany, Russia, England, everywhere. Yeah, so I know there was a couple people that I seen once the link went out for the live. Some of you guys' emails was full because that's the reply I got back. It was emails was full, so I don't know. Some of you guys messed up on that one, but the link went out to everybody, and excuse me, we had a lot of people. I sent emails saying they would show up later on and stuff like that, but for the most part, you know, the people who said they would be there was there. Yeah, I know it's helicopters. It's like probably three helicopters going back and forth, but that's the night tour. That's all that is. So, you know, Vegas has that helicopter tour you can do, and I'm right basically a block away from the strip, you might as well say. So yeah, they fly over here doing this tour, and it should stop pretty soon though. Yeah, the helicopter tour at night is pretty cool. You guys come to Vegas. I always tell people like this is one of the best places to stay if you guys come here. MGM property, MGM signature is cool. You get like a whole apartment. We got the penthouse in here. It's not that super expensive, but it's a good deal. And you can go, of course, to any casinos. No casinos here, but MGM is MGM property. So MGM is right here, as I said. So you can just walk there. All this stuff is linked together. So you can just walk, you know, property to property. No, what's his name? Corze. If you pay for MPA membership, you got access to all the videos. You make sure you also subscribe to Podia, and shoot me an email, therealmerkabah@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you get the link to all the videos that you probably missed. You can download them. You can also go on Merkabah Academy and watch all those videos as well. Just go to the MPA section and check out the videos. But I'll send you a link, so make sure you send me an email, and I'll send you the link so you can download all those videos. You don't have to pay for them separately. Taylor, I don't want to butcher your name. What's going on? I appreciate you too. Nate, what's the deal? Darwin, yeah, I know I got 5 stars on GTA 5, right? Now I'll be running then. You see me spawning all kinds of choppers. Yeah, Marcus, yeah, in the lecture we did talk about Francis Bacon. So that's in the edited copy. So when you guys see the edited version, I put that proof in there. I just put that, you know, brief information there because it's not too much on it, but it's enough. Because everybody knows who studies Francis Bacon, he was outspoken. And they kind of basically told him to shut up because he was trying to break down and explain the difference between black people and white people. And that's one of the, when you hear that whole explanation that a lot of people give, that, oh no, if you live closer to the equator, you're darker, further away from the equator, you're lighter. That was Francis Bacon. He was one of the first people to say that, or probably the first person on record to say that. That if you live, you know, if you're in Africa, you're gonna get darker. And he's telling you, hey, if you go get a tan, you're gonna get darker. And so I put that whole information in there about Francis Bacon, and him working with Moors, and him having a Moor help him edit the Bible. So that's in there. Like the Moors have their hand in everything. That's why they're so pissed, the ones that's out now. So they sold us out, like I said in the lecture. Anybody that's a Moor, that's waving that fucking Moroccan flag, like, get that shit out of here, man. That's the sellout flag. Like, come on. Like I said, the original Moors are done. They wiped them out. Anybody that's claiming Moors right now, or Moorish background, is probably waving that Moroccan flag, or they got a Shriner fez on, or what have you. Like, the Moors didn't have no fez. They didn't wear no turbans or anything like that. They was just black, just Africans, plain and simple. And you knew them, far as their knowledge way back then, is because how they dressed. One of the things that's synonymous with the Moors is their cleanliness. They was always well dressed and clean. It was clean as fuck. So it's one of the ways they documented them, how they was known back then. And you look different from like the other You looked like you had knowledge. You looked different. So they already knew how to spot Moors. You guys remember, and I put this in a video as well, you know, Black Knight with Martin. Remember they kept calling him Moor in that movie, and you know, because he looked different. You know, it's giving you a lot of information right there. What was he doing in that movie? He was basically teaching the motherfuckers a bunch of shit. When you, he was schooling them, like he was doing it in a comedic way, but he was schooling them on a lot of shit. It's the same way, it's the same thing. All esoteric shit. Let's see. Well, the connection between Moors and Freemasonry is that's their way to get the Moors in the fold of Freemasonry. So you can imagine that Freemasonry, like I said, Francis Bacon is considered one of the fathers of Freemasonry. Who was one of his people who hung around was Moors. He was around Moors. So we can deduce that the Moors set up Freemasonry for these people, which would make sense. So their connection is the Shriners, the shrine. So you'll see the Shriners with the fez and all. I put all this is in the video. It's also in the original Moors video. You'll see them with the fez with all the Islamic terms on it and everything like that, because that's where they came from. Remember, the Arabs took over the Moors' position, right? You can't have white folks doing it because they was back in Christianity during that time, in Judaism. So they basically used the Arabs to wipe out the Moors, as we get into with the whole Assassin's Creed thing, and then they took their place, because the Moors that sold out was also teaching these Arabs to become Moors, and they had information and knowledge as well. So whenever you usually see the connection between Spain and the Moors, they're usually talking about the Arab Moors that went in there and basically started the whole war against the actual Moors in Spain. Classical music, yep. Yeah, nobody's gonna teach the Arab invasion in school. Hold on 1 second. Let's shut this thing down. Yeah, we got a lot. We got into a lot of information in that video. It was pretty good. Shadow ban. What's the deal? Rudolf Steiner. I heard of Rudolf Steiner. I'm not familiar with the work, but that name is familiar. Probably somebody who I did. Cause Blavatsky, like everybody that's into anything occult knows Blavatsky's work. And all of us, we're like, Blavatsky is just like one of the top tier people who, when you research anything esoteric, you go to her. She was way ahead of her fucking time. It's one of my favorite people, period. She just had it's like some of the shit that she wrote, it's like, how the fuck did she know this? Like, where did she must have been fucking the Moor, because like, I don't know where, she knew way too much. She was cool. Her and Manly Palmer Hall, Manly P. Hall, two really good occultists. Yeah, so what basically happened, and I talked about this in the first Moors video, like the Crusades, the real history with the Crusades was to wipe out the Moors. Not just the Moors, but all the people, the remnants of the followers of Nestorianism, of Arianism, to wipe those people out, and everybody who had any problem with the church and the papacy, to wipe these people out, but to also in secret hunt down and kill the Moors. They was assassinated like systematically, like clockwork. Like how they said it, we don't know. But basically at the same time, these Moors were wiped out at the same time. then you had, those are the ones who didn't sell out. So what happened was when the Moors, because they try to make it as if the Moors took over Spain, and what people think is that, okay, Spain was already occupied by these Europeans, and the Blackamoors came in there and took it from them, and that's what started the war. When that's not the case. The case is once you have the Crusades go down, and you had this Arab turnover of the Moors, they came in there and took it from the Blackamoors, who was already in Spain, who already was ruling Spain, which is already documented. Because you would have to ask yourself, well, if it was white already, then who was the people that came in there and took it? Who was the civilization before that? You know, it was called Hispania. That's Romans, but before it was part of Mauritania, and that was their land. Different angles, what's the deal? No, meditation, that's in the beginning. You let your mind wander at first. After a while, man, you go straight to what you want to think about, straight to what you want to focus on. Running Man, what's the deal? Jeremy, what's the deal? R.I.P. Jordan Maxwell. Jordan Maxwell died last year. Jordan Maxwell is like, man, he gave us a lot of jewels, man, a lot of good information, and a lot of misdirection as well, which at his age and where he was at, I understood what he had to do. A lot of people who, you know, look to Jordan Maxwell is kind of upset about some of the misdirection he put out, because he put out some bad information at, you know, some points, but it was, you know, it's what he had to do. It's like esoteric, and if you understood what he was trying to say, then you got it. Same thing like with Crawley. A lot of shit Crawley talked about, I mean, it's just super esoteric. It's to keep people away from that information. You know, everything about the little kids and all that stuff like that, all that shit is all hidden information. You got to understand what they're talking about. Terry, I appreciate it. Let's get my phone. Yeah, I get into Hinduism and the Buddhism series. So in the Buddhism series, Buddhism 1, 2, and 3, we get into Hinduism. Yeah, I heard that about Blavatsky too, as far as her having a royal background, and she was like disowned or some crazy shit like that. What happens for most people when they die? That's a wild question right now. The same thing that happened to every person that dies. The same shit. Just like when you go to sleep at night and you wake up, and of course, you know, I can't prove this. It's just, you know, from my research. Just like when you go to sleep and you're dreaming and you don't know that you're actually in the bed sleep. You just think the dream was real. But when you wake up, everything comes rushing back. You got to be to work. You got to go do this. You know, you got to go pick up the kids, whatever. Everything, all that information, the truth of this, you know, reality comes rushing back. It's gonna be the same thing when you die. You wake up, and then everything, the whole reason why you here, how you got here, all that shit comes rushing back, and you're you're multiple forms, energetically. All the lives you live, knowledge of all. It's a lot. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. It's tough for people to accept because everybody know what the Moors did as far as for Europe, but of course they covered up and they hid all the information about them being in America. So like I said in the video, you got to think about it. Come on, man. 1492, they're telling us Columbus sailed the ocean and found America. 1492. You know how long the world existed up until that point? And y'all just now getting to the Americas? What the fuck took so long? That don't make no sense. Y'all just now getting to Americas in 1492. And then everything gets established after that. Think about it. After Columbus gets over there, then he lets them know that, hey, it's a whole fucking landmass over here. What happened? England comes over there, everybody start coming over there. Sweden, Spain, everybody start coming to Americas then. What the fuck took them so long? So what took them so long is, remember, the motherfuckers thought you would fall off the earth if you went over there. And then once the Moors turned and sold out, they said, you know, we're gonna stop bullshit, I'm gonna let y'all in on the secret. It's a whole big ass landmass over there and we already got that shit populated. And they was like, oh yeah? So remember, if you read about Columbus, what was he doing? He was fucking killing Moors. He was wiping out Moors and killing Moors. That's how he got a lot of them to sell out. Columbus, in his diary, wrote that when he went over there, he went to go find some Moors to kill. So yeah, so we get into all that. So I'm not gonna say too much more. Make sure you guys support. What is it, like 93 people here? Man, y'all better stop bullshitting. It's $19.99. You get 4 videos. Make sure y'all go to the link in the description and grab that joint. Because I'm only making it $19.99 for a little bit of time. Because like I said, like 40 people support it from that jump. But you know, it is what it is. Make sure you guys grab it and watch the first Moors video if you didn't see it already. I put it out years ago. But watch that first Moors video, and then you have Ancient History 5 and 6. That's a lot of good information there that makes sense. You know, it's gonna make it make sense when you start watching the actual Moors lecture, which I said it's gonna be over 2 hours. Anybody who said they seen or went to hell is a fucking liar. I don't believe that bullshit. How you go to hell and come back? Like, I mean, just think about that. Yeah, you seen hell when you woke up. This is hell. You know, there's no literal hell. Like the metaphor for hell is earth. It's physical. It's the most, like, bro, how are you going to feel pain and you don't have a body to feel pain? Like, I don't understand how people be thinking. Like, some people just can't think critically. It don't make any sense. Like, just because you think something, it doesn't defy physics. Physics exists no matter what dimension, realm, or what have you exists. It's math, it's physics. And and it only really pertains here because we're in the physical. That's why I call it physics. Now, if you're outside of physics, outside of the physical, which would be you in your spiritual, energetic form, how the fuck can you experience physics or the physical? So the whole notion of you going to hell and burning, like, come on, man. You don't got a body. Your body is fucking done, either burnt already or rotting in the ground. That body is dead. It can't feel no more. So how are you feeling? Now, to make that make sense, how many of you had a dream and you've been shot? Do that shit feel like if you actually got shot? Now, I actually been shot before, so I know what it feel like. Well, grazed. But it's still, it don't feel the same. So that tells you right there, because you're not in your physical body, it ain't gonna feel the same. It's, you know, it's what you think it would feel like. You can't go to hell and burn. So anybody who told you they died and went to fucking hell is a damn liar. They died and saw Jesus, they was doing what? Dreaming. It's no, like, no. I don't know how people believe this crap. And don't get me wrong, a lot of that stuff, a lot of people be sounding convincing if you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, then a lot of people sounds very convincing. Like, oh, this person, and they know how to act. That's why they call them actors. They know how to put the whole thing down. I had a lot of people, so many arguments about this thing, because you got a lot of TV shows and people who got to go to producers and call producers to get the story about this paranormal activity. My whole thing is this: how the fuck is the producer gonna believe it? So if I call up your TV show and say, hey, I just got visited by 3 ghosts, I want to talk about it on your show, how are you gonna prove that to the producer? You can't prove that. They gotta go off of what you said. Oh, that story sounds good. Let's spend some money and reenact it. Maybe people will believe it. And they use their money and their reenactment to make the shit look believable, and then gullible people who don't know anything watch it and believe it. But common sense should tell you, you can't, like, you couldn't even see a ghost if it was real. You couldn't even, your eyes don't even see on that spectrum, that energetic spectrum. You couldn't see it. So that's one right there. It's a lot. It would be like trying to see Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It's a different, you can't see that shit. So, you know, don't fall for all that. Don't believe in all that crap. That line, what's the deal? Light beings is us. We are light beings. 164. We are light beings. That's what we really are. Like, when you understand the essence of what we truly are, you are a soul, an energy, a light being that's experiencing physical reality inside of a body. And you know this when you don't talk and you think. What does that tell you? That that's a second entity. That's the real you, thought, when you think. When you speaking, that's the thought, you speaking through this physical body. Now, you can't do that telepathically, not no more anyway. So you have to speak vocally. So this gets into the whole thing where, you know, they say our DNA was changed before we could communicate telepathically. Vocal cords is a new thing, and they find a lot of human bodies or humans with no vocal cords, all kinds of shit. So you gotta just ask yourself, like, what makes the most sense, you know? And all this other spooky, crazy shit don't make no sense. It just don't. Cape Town, okay. Yeah, photon. Photon is a light. I mean, energy emits a light. You know what I'm saying? Like, light is just it's a photon. It's just you have the illumination coming off a spark, which you can call light. That's just part of it. So that energy, which would be the energy of all, emits photons, or, you know, light, a light source. Yeah, I like that, Mystic Akanai. That's a good way to put it. A photon is a God particle of pure light. Double Blair put out a lot of good information, man. Like, he just went, like, left with it. You know, in the beginning when he was out, he spent a lot of good shit, and then everything just went, like, to a whole different way. You know, information. Like, a lot of people, because more people are intrigued by the extraterrestrial part of this information than the history, because people want to know about what's coming up, what's, you know, in the future, and forget the past, because you're not going to understand what's ahead if you don't understand the past, which is why I get into the past all the time, because this shit never changed. There's no such thing as the past, for real, just how we look at it on the physical sense. But I mean, that same what it was then still exists. It's still here. We just don't have it in the physical. So a lot of people was more into ETs, extraterrestrial talk, and anything that have to do with aliens and stuff like that. Same type shit that you can't really get too much into because you don't have any proof. You wasn't there, or you can't really drag it out. So whenever I talk about them, I say what the proof is that exists, that we found. So the simple fact that we have all over the world documented real proof of civilizations talk about beings that came from above, that should tell you everything right there. Let's see. I mean, a lot of people ask about astro projection. I mean, you astro project basically every time you go to sleep. That astral plane is just basically the dream world. And for those who can get to that plane in meditation, that's what they're talking about. That's, I mean, all that shit just comes from Buddhism. It comes from the yogis and the people who really go out there. You know, when you get to that point in with meditation, oh my God, somebody's smoking weed and it smells divine. I don't smoke weed. I'm not used to it, but I just love the smell of weed. Somebody's blowing. But yeah, one second. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. A lot of people grabbing the lecture. Like I said, that later on tonight, you'll get that link. It'll be inside the link you just downloaded. It'll be there. So I appreciate everybody that's grabbing it now while we're on this live. It's not going to be $19.99 for long. It's 4 videos. And the actual live stream is over 2 hours. I put the Moors DVD in there. I put Ancient History Volume 5 and 6 in there. All these videos going to help you understand the Moors, the Blackamoors lecture even more if you haven't seen those videos. But it really works together when you've seen those videos. But you don't need to have seen them to see the Blackamoors lecture. I mean, I think I explained enough in those, but it'll help you get some more deeper understanding with those other 3 videos. Yeah, because in the Blackamoors, I mean, the first Moors video I put out, I didn't put all the because it was so much information. It's a lot. It's still more. So I didn't put in the information about them being in the Americas and them being the actual Native Americans, and they changed the name from Moors to Indians. So that's deep shit. I didn't put that in there. I didn't put the not Crawley, but I didn't put the Francis Bacon information, or I didn't put the information about Queen. Oh yeah, that was another thing we talked about. So Queen Elizabeth and her whole royal decree, which is documented, and we showed this in the video, to basically get rid of all Moors from out of England. So that's documented. So I talked about Star Wars in the Blackamoors lecture, because Star Wars is basically esoterically giving you the Moors. What happened? The same thing that happened to the Jedi is what happened to the Moors. So we made that whole connection in the video, and you'll see. I don't get too much into it, but it's the same shit. Same thing. Execute Order 66. What I say in the whole Assassin's Creed video about the Moors. What happened? Everything was doing good. Everything was fine. Then execute Order 66. It's documentation. These kings was giving the Moors crazy money for all kinds of shit. And once they got the knowledge, and once the Moors were sold out, it was done. They had to do away with them. It's the same thing. So what is the Moors known for? Their knowledge. You know, what is the lightsaber about? The lightsaber or the Jedi is about what? The Jed pillar, which would be your spine, leading up to the third eye, Jed eye. So they were known for their knowledge, their information. And what happened? The same thing happened to the Jedi. Once Execute Order 66 went into place, they went out and it was knocking off the Jedi. Same thing with the Moors. They went out and it was knocking off the Moors. What happened to the Jedi? They had to spread out and hide who they was. That's what all these series is about right now. What happened to the Moors? Same thing. They had to spread out and hide who they was. The ones who hid. The other ones went over to England and mixed in with those people. But again, as I said, if you are a Jedi, it's hard for you to hide that power. Same thing with the Moors. If you are a Moor, it was hard for them to hide their knowledge and the way they look and dress, and the fact they like to be super clean. So we get into all that. So good question. Which Las Vegas shooting? It's always a Las Vegas shooting. It's a lot of mental illness out here. There's a lot of meth heads over here. So usually, if it's a shooting, it's one of them. You know, if you talking about the one from what's that, Mandalay Bay? Yeah, that was a setup. That was a setup. Ain't no way in the fucking world this dude walking with all that. Well, yeah, I guess you can get those guns past those people. But yeah, it's just weird what happened with that whole thing. Vegas strong, baby. Vegas strong. Exactly. Crystals in a lightsaber, the fact that they even put that in there, they're giving you Kundalini energy right there. You know, talk about the crystals and the different sabers. When you start getting into like the games and everything like that, they start to let off a lot more of the esoteric jargon surrounding Star Wars. So a lot of people don't know what the Jed is, and that the Jed is your spine. The Jed pillar, the raising of the Jed pillar, which is the original name for Osiris, was called the Jed. And the fact that the Jed, if you just Google raising the Jed pillars, Jed is spelled D-J-E-D. If you just Google raising the Jed, you'll see them raising up the Jed. It looks exactly like a lightsaber. That's where they got it from. You know, it's exactly like a lightsaber. And then that lightsaber, the energy representing the Kundalini energy of the spine, which activates the third eye, Jed eye. Listen, George Lucas married a black woman for a reason. He understands. You understand all this shit. The fact that everything about Saturn, the Saturn is everywhere in Star Wars. The Black Robes, the Sith, Black Robes, all that shit is Saturn. He knew everything. The fact that the Death Star is Iapetus. and how did he know that shit? Which is fucking nuts to me. That one always got me. The fact that they didn't know until basically after Star Wars come out. So that tells you how deep he is in Freemasonry and far as being connected. The fact that this motherfucker already knew about something that nobody on the planet should have known about, because we didn't have the capability to even see the damn thing. But this dude knew. So yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah, Assassin's Creed is definitely one of my favorite games. A lot of information in there. Endgame. Ooh, buddy. Damn, bro, you must love food. Why you say that? I look fat. I know my face is fatter. I actually lost weight. It's just hot as fuck out here. What is it, 110 out this bitch? One Punch Man, that's my shit. Yeah, I've been to Boston a few times. Do I do drugs? What the fuck would you ask me that? Let's stop that. Of course I don't do no damn drugs. Only drug I ever did in my life was weed. Other than that, that was years ago. I don't do shit. I don't smoke, nothing. Put nothing bad into this body. Yeah, I'm from Philly. D. Griff, what's the deal? Welcome back. Yeah, originally from Philly, man. From Philly and all over. I've actually now lived outside of Philly longer than I lived in Philly. You know, I'm ex-military, so I was in the Navy for years. I lived all over the world, have dual citizenship in Sweden. So I've been in Europe a lot, traveled a lot, lived in a lot of places, a lot of different countries, man. And it's been cool, like, but this is the best place to be as far as to make money and to, you know, gain success. It's one of the best countries to do that because the taxes is, believe it or not, low here, super high everywhere else, and it's just home. You know, it's just home. Like, I think eventually I'm going to end up in Dubai. That's probably where I'll probably spend the last years of my life. Probably going to be in Dubai. Because Dubai is just fucking amazing. As long as you stay out of the, you know, the normal area. It's going to be in the tourist zones or where the expats live. It's cool over here. So, probably going to end up in Dubai. Dubai ain't going nowhere. Dubai is the protected land. If you understand esoterically, that is the safe zone. That's why they're doing so much there. That's why they have a fucking monstrosity of money, because they can't be touched. Yeah, shout out. What's going on, Philly? Philly, yeah, you Philly, you already know. You know, everybody that's from Philly that I see that have any type of success, I'm like, damn. One is a shocker, because we like fucking crabs in Philly. We pull each other down. Like, Philly is so full of haters. We don't like to see each other do anything successful. But once you leave outside of Philly, man, especially if you see somebody from Philly and y'all outside of Philly, the love is so real. Like, I was talking to this woman's family for like fucking 2 hours when I was in Denmark. I had on a Brian Dawkins jersey, an Eagles jersey in Denmark, Copenhagen. And this white woman saw me, and she's from Philly. As soon as she spoke to me, I immediately knew she was from Philly. But her family was Danish, and she was visiting her family in Denmark. But she fucking introduced me to her whole family, ended up sitting down talking to these people for like a fucking hour and a half, almost 2 hours. They bought me drinks and food, and we had a good ass time, just because of Philly people. That's how it is. I noticed that about people from Philly. We are the most hospitable to people who are not from Philly. And we only hospitable to each other being from Philly when we outside of Philly. Yeah, Dubai definitely safe enough to live there. You don't want to go to where they really enforce Islamic law, Sharia law, because you can go to fucking jail for looking at somebody, you know, for too long. Like, you can, it's real crazy. They real anal about it outside of tourist zone, expat zone. So the zones you'll get familiar with when you start looking into Dubai. I invest in property over there, so it's like a big deal right now for a lot of people to get into those investment groups as far as getting property in Dubai and investing in them, because it's going to be a big influx in there. And I talked about this before. I told y'all, Dubai is the safe zone. When shit start hitting the fan, that's where people are going to flee. That's why you're seeing all these rappers and celebrities and shit go over there to basically set their shit up. And then, you know, the fucking royal family over there is so locked in. Probably the coolest royal family on the fucking planet. And they just chill. Like, I mean, you got more money than fucking God. I guess your fucking attitude would be chill too. But their attitude over there is just so relaxed and laid back and chill. And like, you know, it's okay, buddy. That's their fucking attitude. Yeah, I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan. You know, appreciate it. So I got this shirt from Walmart, actually. I seen it and I said, I gotta have this shirt. This is like my generation growing up with Beavis and Butthead. I feel rappers always gonna be Tupac. And nobody will ever surpass Tupac in my eyes, period, point blank. And I ain't just saying that because it's like the popular answer. I grew up with that era. And to me, the fact that Tupac was, what, 25 when he died? And man, I have every single Tupac song ever released. It's on my playlist. I have all his shit. We're talking about hundreds of songs. Listen to this brother, man. The fact that his mind was there in his 20s, that fucking information he spit out, and like, cause Tupac was confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's young. He's a young boy. Like, you know, I'm older than him now, but he's older than me. You know, but looking at him now, I see he was confused because he was like, you know, wrapped up in the understanding of religion, but then seeing the trap of religion, understanding the trap of the system and the government. He was so caught up in so many different things, and he was being pulled. But I think, you know, towards the end, he figured it out. Because at the end of the day, none of that shit is going to matter religious-wise. What's going to matter is status-wise, like economically, which is why he wanted to have a black political party and establish that, to have somebody to represent the interests of black folks. And that's one of the reasons why he was killed. This dude was on the fucking phone talking about he going to unite all the black rappers, and we're going to go into the hoods and talk to the gang members and get them to stop selling drugs and get them to, you know, make these programs that's going to benefit the black community. I mean, he had the power to do it. They had to get rid of him. So whatever the narrative is, whether they got Diddy to do it, whatever the fucking shit may be, that's why he was killed. No matter what they say, that's the reason, because he was about to revolutionize hip hop, and he had the power and reach to do it. And he was the person, I mean, just his background, who his mom, his parents was, you know, what he grew up around. Like, he was the best leader, like, period. And they had to get rid of him. So, but just me being a conscious person, listening to Tupac, which, of course, Tupac have, you know, hit him up and kill him, shoot him up, bang, bang type shit in there. But it's always towards some if you fuck with me type shit. You know what I'm saying? But the knowledge in Tupac songs is just like the best. Yeah, my only fair death is reincarnation. Illuminati, exactly. And what he say? I'm putting a K to that shit because I'm trying to kill that bullshit. Because, you know, they didn't really understand how deep this shit is. Like, they didn't grasp it. You know, everybody who grasped it and wanted to make a change, they wiped out. They got rid of it. Richie, what's the deal? Favorite X-Men? Oh, that's tough. That's hard. I can't even think of a favorite X-Men. Who it would be. I mean, I like Storm, but they always make Storm seem fucking weak sometimes. Like, she fucking controls the elements, but then it's like she gets thrown through a window and she's just down for the count and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of that. They don't do Storm right. I don't like that. I like Gambit because, like, Gambit in the comic books is way stronger than he is in the X-Men cartoons. Wolverine, of course. I mean, you can't go wrong with Wolverine. Wolverine's fucking beast. Like, you gotta love that dude. It's tough to choose a favorite X-Men, but if I had to pick, you know, hold a gun to my head, it's Magneto. Hands down, Magneto. Because at the end of the day, he was right. He was right about what he was saying. Like, he was on some real revolution type shit. I'm not laying down for these motherfuckers. We can kiss the ass long enough. We are the dominant power, you know. So the whole Malcolm X talk, like, you gotta love Magneto. Magneto would be the one I would pick if I had to choose. And plus, he can smash Rogue. You gotta give him props for that. He can fuck Rogue. Nobody else can fuck him. He can. So yeah, I give him props for that too. That's who I would pick. Right? Gambit will clean up in Vegas. Damn sure will. Yeah, these tour helicopters is going by. That's what y'all hear. It's for the night tours, so they should be stopping pretty soon. What time is it? I'm gonna have to get out of here soon. It's almost 10 o'clock. Gotta go grab something to eat. Shouldn't be eating after 9, but I've been in the fucking suite here editing the fucking Blackamoors all day. This is what I be telling people. Like, people don't understand that if you went to film school or you ever tried to edit a video where you got to put video and photo, you understand how long it takes. This is a 2-hour, and luckily for me, I pre-edited a lot of shit. So I had a lot of stuff ready because I wanted this to come out yesterday, but it's no fucking way in the world. I was so tired. But yeah, I try to tell people it takes at least a day to edit these videos. So people be fucking giving me shit about charging money for it. Dude, I'm literally at my fucking computer all day. I gotta, and then, not to mention, you gotta get up, you gotta eat, you gotta wash your ass, you gotta drink water, you gotta go to the bathroom. So that takes away. You know, I got a 9-month-old, so I got a daughter running around, I gotta make sure she's cool. Like, it's a lot that comes into play. So that's a lot of time that basically is put into putting together these videos. And it's a lot of time. And it's like, damn, $20, and people don't want to give you 20, they want to give you $7 for it. And it's like, well, damn, like, you know, oh, you're not supposed to be charging because you're black and I'm black. Like, get the fuck out of here. When y'all gonna run to that white man with a smile on their face and give him their money to keep oppressing them, it's crazy. It's fucking asinine. So, like, it is what it is. Charlie, what's the deal? Charlie Farmer, what's going on? Let me see. Yeah, right? Man, you don't want to try and hear shit. Like, it's the one who I can relate to the most. But they all had their stories. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta like the X-Men stories. And I talked about Stan Lee a lot. You know, as I said before, the original X-Men comes from ancient Egyptian gods. If you go look up the original X-Men, you'll see them in Egypt as Egyptian gods, where we got it from. We all know Magneto and Xavier are Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. He already talked about all that. So props to Stan Lee, RIP, for basically for paying homage to African people and talking about the history of a lot of these African gods that he got from researching Kemet in Africa. Yeah, so with how the live went, so a lot of people ask questions on that as well. So understand, it'll be like this in the next live as well. So how it went, for those of you guys who was there, you guys know already. So we did a Google Meet, right? So Google Meet is like one of the best platforms to use. So in Google Meets, you can turn your camera on, we can see each other, and you can also talk. You know, I turn the mics off during the lecture, but you can also talk. Excuse me. So that's how it would be. So just to give you guys an understanding, the next one. So basically, you can come into, I sent out the link, and I got to invite you guys, and you can talk, and we can hear each other, and we can see each other. So that's how it went. So basically, like it's like a room with everybody in there. So let me see. I think I got like a thing on my phone. Some of the photos. So I covered up some of the faces down there. I don't think they mind, but you see this like she's a Moor, so you guys can see. There's people down there. Their mics are off. They're down there right there. That's basically how it went down. And those are not gunshots, by the way. It's just people rolling over the little metal thing that's out here. Sound like gunshots. I was about to duck a couple seconds ago. Kelvin, what's the deal from Kenya? Let me see. Yeah, somebody sent me that video of Billy Carson saying Jesus is an alien. Like Billy Carson gonna say whatever the fuck he gotta say to keep the fucking, you know, tinfoil hat motherfuckers engaged. Because it's, research-wise, where do you get that from, man? Research-wise. Even esoterically, it don't fucking add up. Jesus is you. Jesus tells you in the Bible that he is you. When you understand, like, there's no other way around it. Jesus never existed. Jesus is a metaphor for different things like the sun and your consciousness. Plain and simple. Christ consciousness. I showed you guys, and you can even Google it and see where they got the image of Jesus Christ from Serapis Christos, which Christos means the anointed one. And there is no Jesus, black or white. There never was. Plain and simple. It's like the black will only exist because we know the first people that was indoctrinated into these religions was black, because it was only black skin over there during that time. So all the older paintings, most of them they burned and got rid of, was of black Jesus and black this and that, black Madonna and everything. And they got rid of it. They only keep it down to confuse the fuck out of people. But the shit, there is no Jesus, man. Like, you know that. And common sense tells you that. And it's just everything, every bit of research that you're going to do is going to point you in that direction that the motherfucker never existed. Sorry to say. He is you. You are Jesus. Yeah, but Billy Carson, like, listen, man, the stuff that I've seen on him, because the first thing I do is this. One, I'm a follower of Manly P. Hall. I study Masons. I have Masons friends. I've been in Masonic fucking halls all over this planet. Like I said, I was saying this in the live, that if I posted some of the pictures that I have in some of these temples, people think I'm a Mason, or they think I'm fucking Illuminati or some shit, which is why I don't post them. One of these days, eventually I will. But I've been in all these. I know what these people talk about. Like I'm fucking so past that shit. Like, one, you would know what I look for when I look at these people is I always look for the esoteric talk. That's how you gotta read it. That's what it's all about. So you gotta understand, just for people who don't get this shit, movies. When you watch a movie, as I said this before, movies are not for you. They're not for you. They are to spread a message, an occult message, an esoteric message to everybody who is in. All these movies that are big, that you see a big premiere on, everything has an esoteric background to it. It's for you to be entertained by it. You to spend money, be entertained by it, but not get the message. Your subconscious is going to get it, because that movie is also programming you. But your consciousness, if you are not conscious, you're not going to understand it. So that's what it's about. When I listen to anybody, people like Billy Carson, even Jordan Maxwell, all these people who come out, who I know is speaking esoterically, because you can read it, then I know what they're doing. Billy Carson is not doing that. He is a complete fucking fraud. And his videos, I sent one of you guys a link to a video about him, and this one dude just completely crushes him, and I was like, damn. But nah, he's saying shit without any type of, it's not esoteric, there's no backing to it or no type of documentation. This dude just spits out shit, and I don't understand like anybody who call himself intelligent and believe it, because one, you should have did the research on it, and if you did, you fucking already proved to yourself it was bullshit. So like a lot of this shit you can just look up and it's like, huh? This shit ain't happen. You just say stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why my shit takes so long to edit, anybody can sit in front of a camera and talk, right? But the reason why when I put my videos up on YouTube or what have you, I give you guys pictures and videos for a reason. Because I don't want to say no I read from shit. I don't want to say no off the wall shit and I don't have nothing to back it up with. That shit was fake. Trump, I ain't gonna say too much. The Trump shit. They're already investigating it, but it's all bullshit. We all know that. Right? What's going on, Ryan? Yo, I got into a whole argument with them. I wish I had somebody there to record, but it was too heated. But I got into a whole argument with them here and in New York. So in New York, it's because I was in Times Square. This was a few years ago, and I was walking by and somebody recognized me, and we got into a little back and forth with the Hebrews, which again, it's real easy to shut them down because they can't give you no proof. They're just gonna pull out their Bible. But here in Vegas, same thing happened. You know, where you walk across the little bridges on the strip, one of the guys recognized me and was like, "Oh, yo, this the dude right here. That's Merkabah. Let's get him." Anyway, real shit. It's a true story. But they were saying, "Let's get him on some knowledge type shit, not fight." They was like, "Yeah," but they was giving me shit, but they was like, it was hard to read them. Like they was being friendly, but at the same time insulting. But it was like a mutual thing going back and forth. But I was crushing them the whole fucking time because everything that I proposed to them, they want to pull out the book. And my whole thing is, the book is in question. How you gonna go to the book for the answers when the book itself is in question? It has not been proven. So that's how I usually, to skip all the bullshit, that's what I usually do to them. I say, well, show me where they proved the Bible. You want to use it as a reference, show me where it was proven. And they're not gonna be able to do that. Oh, Chamber of Leaf, what's the deal? 33 degree here, what's the deal? Brother of the craft, huh? Yeah, people don't care about conspiracy, man. You know what I've been finding out a lot about people is and this is, I said this before, when you guys do your research, man, try not to fucking watch too much people. This is why I don't do that, because it's going to seep into your thinking, and then you're going to start fucking being paranoid about shit that you done made up in your mind because you done watched Billy Carson and fucking Jordan Maxwell, all these other people, and then spliced all their information into a hodgepodge of fucking buffoonery. It's like you gotta get in the books, man. You gotta really fucking make sure you got notes. But I have books and books and books and books of notes. Make sure you got notes, you can go back and you can reference shit. But man, most conscious people are conspiracy theories like a motherfucker. And I say that because, of course, like I don't like to use that term conspiracy theorist when I talk about a conscious person. I mean in a negative way. Because if you're a conspiracy theorist, you my people. Because you should be. But I mean, like, you can't be a conspiracy theorist about every fucking thing. So like me putting when I did my intro, when I first started doing my intro, I went to film school. People thought I was fucking Illuminati then. Shirts that I wear, people say, oh, you fucking Illuminati. I done had somebody told me that I was a defected Mason. Somebody put that in shit. I was like, yeah, like people just conspiracy to the fullest. And then shit, something go wrong, it's over. As soon as something go wrong, it's a conspiracy. You did this or you scamming or you doing that. A lot of people are conspiracy just minded when you're conscious because you're so, in protect mode and research mode and you're looking for all kinds of fucking traps and shit. And you gotta just fucking breathe, man, and calm down and like focus on what you can prove and what makes the most sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't do that. And then the conspiracies you should be fucking worried about and really dealing with is the ones that independent researchers have given you proof on. So like whenever I look at any type of artifacts or anything like that, I always look for an independent researcher's report on almost anything I look into, because the independent researcher is the sign, because you have the right to remain anonymous. And these motherfuckers be organizations, they be really backed. And when I say backed, I mean they got money. And they're independent. And they will put out some real findings contrary to popular belief, which is how you know they're on the up and up. So, conspiracies, a lot of people don't really care about that shit. They don't really care about consistency of, evidence and proof, because it's evidence for anything. It's fucking evidence for dinosaurs, it's evidence for aliens, it's evidence for Jesus, but evidence is not proof. You can have a bunch of evidence for somebody who's going to court, and then he get found not guilty because the evidence didn't hold up to scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? So you can have evidence about a bunch of shit. You gotta be able to prove that shit. And that's just how it is. Yeah, exactly. You can't let that shit consume you, man. That's why I say play some games. When that shit start getting too heavy, man, go jump into a fucking Grand Theft Auto 5 or go blow somebody's brains out. Go run down some cops and some shit like that. Take out your anger on the fucking video game. Focus, get that shit out. Go hit the punching bag. Go run. What we got here? What they call? Not panic rooms. I forget what it's called. Those stress rooms that we got over here in Vegas. We can go in there and pay like $150 to take a baseball bat to some fucking fine art or replica of fine art, and shit like that. Like you got to relieve stress some from it. For me, it's video games. For me, I'm like I used to box, so I like boxing. I'm always into that shadow boxing and stuff like that. I am a 3rd-degree black belt. I talked about that. So yeah, shit like that. And I put on some pounds, but that's because it's fucking American food is too good. But yeah, I'm working on that. D-grip kickboxing, hell yeah. I mean, I always wanted to get into some kickboxing. Yeah, balance. You gotta have it, man. You gotta have balance in this shit because you don't want to lose yourself in here, man. And I was there, so I know. I was fucking lost. I was lost as a Christian, just lost in the knowledge. And then when I got out of it, I was just lost in fucking being conscious. And it can consume you. It can take you into a fucking place of depression, which I'm pretty sure I had that a couple times. And it can really fucking consume your life. And you would be so down. I would be reading books, man, and I would just get so fucking emotional. reading about what we went through as a people, and it's like, wow, why the fuck we got to deal with all this shit? What the fuck did we do? What is this shit all about? And then, you know, once I, you know, came to the answer of that, you're instantly happy because then you know what I'm saying, you get it. And arriving to that point is the hardest part because you got to accept it. But it's so much of the shit you got to accept before that to arrive to a place where you just, you know, you're okay with whatever. You know, you just know, like, it's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah. Yeah, G. Steve, exactly, the engineers. What do engineers do? They create, they build. And that's what they mean, engineers. If you've seen Prometheus, which I talk about a lot, and Prometheus, they was called engineers because they engineered us. They created us in the movie. That's what they was alluding to. So the whole term, with engineer, I mean, it's so much to that as far as engineering. We are a genetic marvel. And this is how, when you go back, especially with the ancient Egyptians, dude, how much it was as if it was the first time them being in a body. Like they knew something outside of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the type of attention they paid to the body, as like far as worshiping it and paying homage to it, as far as like the complexity of it, building buildings that basically would mimic the body and the way the body works. They was fucking marveling at the body and like, damn, these motherfuckers really did it. That's how it comes off. Like, I can't believe they did this, or I can't believe how this works, or this is such amazing, as if they were the energy, you know, outside of the body, looking at the body and just saying, damn, this is fucking crazy. The way we would if you know about cars and you're looking at a Shelby Cobra, you know, the guts of it, and you just, everything from the outside, you're just looking at, damn, how they built this, or you're looking at a fucking Lamborghini and you're just looking at everything they put into it, and you just marveling at this car like, damn, this is something crazy. That's how they come off, because the body to them was just like, damn, I can't believe y'all created such an amazing thing. As if saying that, wow, now we can experience this physical reality, being our spiritual selves, and having knowledge of both, because they obviously did. We don't. We have what we think we know. We don't know now. They knew. If that makes sense. There's no such thing as Anunnaki. That's a funny ass question. Appreciate it, Dre. Yeah, the Temple of Man, the book that R.A. Swallow the Lubix wrote, the Temple in Man, Temple of Man, some people would call it. It was made exactly, I mean, we're talking about from head to toe, the human body, and all around that structure, was to pay special attention to the head, the brain, the pineal, and everything like that. All around there is esoterically the body in different ways and how it works. It's fucking amazing. And if we could read, like really read the glyphs, the reliefs that's on the wall, it would basically tell us that. Some of the ones that I can make out is talking about the body, parts of the body. Yeah, why people want to believe in Anunnaki? And there is no such thing as Anunnaki. Zachariah Stitchin made the shit up. I talked about all this. And everybody who's talking, it's been talked about so much that people believe it's real. There is no damn Anunnaki. Like, anybody who talking to you about Anunnaki, ask them to show you the Emerald tablets first. They won't be able to do that because they don't have them. They have the tablets that they have are written in a language that 6 people can understand, and they'll tell you they're going to understand about 2-3 words on there. So we don't know what those tablets said. It's already been proven that Stitchin did not know Sumerian. He couldn't read it. All the people who can read it came out and said he's a fraud. The dude told you that, oh, well, I figured it out on my own, meaning he made the shit up. So in the videos or in the books, they're showing you that what he's saying means this, don't mean that at all. It's some complete fabricated bullshit. As I said, Stitchin was a Mason who was embarking on what they call the great work. That's what you need to do to reach the 33rd degree. That's where that came from. It's the same thing that fucking Terrence Howard doing now. And they've been doing this throughout history. And you see these works, plain and simple. Who brought him here? I mean, fucking Jordan Maxwell basically told you. Remember, Jordan Maxwell came out and, hey, I brought the guy here. You know what I'm saying? I paid them to do this and that. They do the whole Masonic handshake. That's what it was about. There is no Anunnaki. There's no fucking Anunnaki. Everybody who jumping on that can't give you one lick of proof. The only thing they want to go back to is Sumerian tablets, which they don't have, never seen or touched. We don't have any Sumerian tablets or emerald tablets that's talking about Anunnaki, that's been proven to talk about Anunnaki. It's all made up bullshit. There's no fucking way in the world beings that have the fucking power to create us is going to create us to mine gold. It's just dumb. It's the dumbest shit ever. All the stories, E.T. Enlil comes from other Sumerian or Akkadian cuneiform stories where they got the names from. So they got that part right. And we don't even know if that's the correct translation. That's just what they gave us. But all the other shit, all the stories, that shit is bogus. The dude was selling trips to Africa, bringing people to these fucking barren-ass rock structures, saying that this is where these beings landed. And people bought the shit. They bought the trips to Africa that he made a shitload of money off for him to give them a tour or some bullshit. It's like, come on, I gotta wake up from this. You might as well believe in Jesus. You're gonna believe in that. It's the same thing. What's the difference? It's no proof. There's more evidence for the existence of Jesus Christ than the existence of the Anunnaki. It's a fact. It's more evidence. There is no real concrete proof or facts or real good evidence that these Anunnaki existed. It's just what people want to believe because they want to believe in something. The question I get the most from a lot of people is, well, if you don't believe in this, what do you believe in? Because to them, you gotta believe in something. Why would I want to believe in something? I want to know something. You know, I can think, you know, I can perceive, but I don't want to fucking believe. I want to believe for. I can think, man, I think this is this way. I don't like to say believe. It's just a word I'm accustomed to saying. I say it sometimes, but I don't like to say it in mixing it with actual conscious, you know, information. You know, I might say I believe so, you know, because it's the normal saying. But I don't like to say believe if I'm putting something out there as official information or knowledge. I'm not going to say I believe it. I'm going to say my research has shown me. I don't want to believe in shit. Belief is bullshit. So what the Anunnaki, and it's probably been a few people now who just crushed the whole thing. And I did a video on it. My videos, I crushed it. I killed that. So when you do the history on it and you go back and you look at everything, it's bullshit. But you know, you guys are free, of course, to believe what you want to believe. I say still, you know, watch the shit or listen to it so you can understand. Once you do some real research and you start breaking it apart, it'll be easier because you know what the fuck you're talking about. But man, for people who actually believe in it, stop that shit. If that's what you banking on, if that's what you putting your, you know, all your chips into the basket that fucking Anunnaki is coming back, you tripping. All right, is that a real question? Where's the proof that you exist just because you feel pain? I exist because I exist. I think, therefore I am. So show me an Anunnaki that's thinking and existing at the same time. I'll wait. Show me a thought, a passage that an Anunnaki has written or wrote. It's no Anunnaki. Do you like, come on, man. Do you think that they would fucking release that information in the detail that these people release it at and allow it to be out, they would have killed fucking Stitch a long time ago. They would have killed these people. They know it's bullshit. That's why it exists. You couldn't release something that's deep, that detail, that's supposed to be truth. They wouldn't allow that shit, man. It's bullshit. Like, trust me on that. Yeah, so what is that? Ancient History, volumes 5 or 6, we get into Freemasonry. So I already got a bunch of information on Freemasons in this video. Excuse me. Yeah, it's on, so basically if you just bought the Blackamoors, the video is in there. So in Ancient History, volume 6, I believe, we get into Freemasonry. It's all in there. Like, it's like, to get into deeper shit with Masonry, fuck no, I'm not touching that. It's like what was revealed to me, me coming in, because like, yeah, one time, of course, I thought about becoming a Mason. I've been to the lodges, and I have some, lucky enough to have some friends abroad that's Masons, Masonic, so when I traveled, I went to a few lodges. I have some pictures, and so yeah, I thought about it. And then, you know, the more I got into it, and the more I heard about the dues you got to pay, and then just me being so conscious, and then, you know, it's like, not to be racist or anything like that. It's just something weird about knowing history and seeing all these white folks, you know, talking this information as if, you know, they got it legitimately. You know, it bothers you a little bit. So I couldn't do it for those reasons, one, and for two, I know how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how it works. And I kind of broke that down a little bit in the videos, you know. So to give you a quick example, it works kind of sort of in this way. So they'll come to you, because one of the things about being a Mason is you have to have a religion. So you got to either be a Christian, a Jew, or Muslim, Buddhist, what have you. So they will come to you and say to you, well, one, especially for Christians, you know, reading the Bible with the square and compass, give you degrees and tell you a passage or what have you, just to see where you at, what you're reading. But then they'll say for you, because remember, I have Masonic Bibles. So a Mason's Bible is like your own. You have to have it with you all the time. You have to be faithful to that Bible. It's like a whole thing for you and your religious doctrine to have with you. So it's like your brother, you know. So this is my rifle, this is my gun type shit. But then they'll tell you to burn it, right? Or spit on it. And if you do it on their command, then they know that there is nothing that you're not willing to do if you do that, right? That means you're willing to follow orders. So I can reveal more shit to you. But then if you don't do it, because you think it's a test. It's a test. They tested me, all the glorious shit they told me about my book, and they want me to spit on it or burn it now. This is definitely a test. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to disrespect this book. That means you are too into the fucking spirituality. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to say the bullshit. Because common sense should tell you, man, it's just a book. If you hear about knowledge, you understand this is esoteric. So why wouldn't you do what I commanded you to do? It's about taking orders. And about that, it's about how far are you willing to go? What can we reveal to you? Because as the higher we go, the more fucking crazy it's going to get. The more disrespectful it's going to get. The more psycho it's going to get as far as looking at it from a regular point of view. So if you're not willing to do this one thing, then I can't trust you past this point. But no matter what you choose, you passed. So if you chose to spit or burn the book, you passed, and they'll tell you you passed. If you didn't, then you passed, and they'll tell you you passed. So you think, I made the right decision, but only one of you is going to have a positive outcome later on, if you understand. So it's that type of fucking information going around, and the way that they do things. And you have to be a good reader of esoteric. You know, you have to really understand what's going on. It's for the celebrities. The ones who get it, and they move up. You're never going to meet these people. You're not going to know. You can be in a party and next to one of the highest ranking Illuminati motherfuckers, period. And he the waiter. He the fucking waiter. He just walking around serving you drinks, keeping game. You're not going to know who these people is. So you need to know how to read. You need to know the mannerisms. You need to know how to read and understand what's esoteric. So let's say they release something super esoteric in a movie, right? Just to see where people is. Or they're trying to find somebody for a certain role, just to see where you are. And in your next live stream, Instagram post, movie, what have you, you basically put in that movie the answer to the esoteric shit they put in the movie. Then they know that you're on your fucking square. They know that you're on your shit. So this is the guy that we need, because he just basically told us what he shouldn't know unless he on his shit, and what we know we can trust him with because he put it out esoterically correctly, if you understand. This is how that shit works. So you got to play the game, and once you in, you're in. There is no getting out. So calling somebody a sellout, motherfucker, you ain't get the chance to sell out. Once you got in without knowing, you already sold. It's done. There's no way out. So when they come to you, or come to them, what the proposition, there is no no. There is no no. You know, there's a no, but it depends on how far you want to go. You know, if you want to lose everything, you want to kill, what have you. You're not going to take all the shit they gave to you and then tell them no. Like all this shit, because what you're doing anyway is bad. So it's like, oh, okay, so you're being stupid. This is an intellectual decision that you need to make. You're making one based off of what? So yeah, they get you the fuck out of there. It's deep shit. It's something that I could never really get into, and I'm lucky enough to have friends who some of them wish they didn't get into. That's a fact. And lucky enough to be able to bounce around and talk about a couple things, but it's just some stuff, you know, I out of respect and fucking safety, my ass, you know, I won't get into it. I won't divulge, you know, what have you. So, because it's just like, you know, I understand what they're doing, and if you really get it, these people are not evil like they're, you know, made out to be. Goofy joined the Gammas and wanted out. Goofy used to be my shit though. Yeah, Donald Duck is a Mason, if you understand that. He's Illuminati. So is Mickey Mouse. So is Jesus. Right? So is SpongeBob. Yeah, so I wanted to come on here real quick because yeah, you guys email fucking good, believe it or not. Because like, I wasn't getting emails at first because I had somebody else handling that for me. So now I've been trying to keep up on emails because there's a lot going on. But I do get you guys emails. A lot of the times when I got time to read, I read most of them in the bathroom, keep it real. But yeah, so I wanted to do this because a lot of people had questions about the live. The lecture and everything like that. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update on where we are with that whole thing. And tonight, excuse me, probably by midnight or probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it'll be up for sure. But I'm definitely going to release pretty soon. It's basically, I'm at the end of it, finishing up. Like I said, this shit takes a long time to do. Like editing, especially with all the pictures and stuff I had to put into this one. Like I said, it's over like 2 hours, so it's a lot. I don't want to cut out too much of the live. I don't want to cut out too much of the actual live because it's a lot of when I'm putting up in the live, I'm posting pictures. So I'm cutting out some of that because it's like it takes some time, but I don't want to come out too much because we have a little funny moments and we talk about a couple things, you know. So I don't want to cut out too much from that. Yeah, I talked about, I forget what video that was when I talked about autistic people. You guys saw the one I posted about the guy in the helicopter. He went up for like 23 minutes, and he basically came back down and completely drew like a fucking aerial shot of New York, I think it was, and it was so detailed, so detailed. Yeah, autistic people have like definitely got superpowers, and they just look at reality differently, but it gives you insight into what's possible. You know what I'm saying? Because their mind works differently than ours. But it's like, well, damn, what is the secret to that? What do we need to do to be able to unlock those points in the brain that will allow us, because to me, that's a fucking power, to fly over the city and then fucking draw it in such detail. It goes back to the question, or to the thing I always say about the dream world. In your conscious state, could you draw downtown right now if you had to? You couldn't draw it. You would leave some shit out. You would be wrong about a bunch of shit. But in the dream state, it's projected to you completely perfect, the way you know it, the way you've seen it. And then it's the same thing with these autistic kids, where they can just see for a little bit something and then draw it in exact detail. So it's something to that. But again, that has to do with, you know, consciousness, spirituality, or what have you, and just their brain working differently than ours. Goes into what she was talking about in Lucy about unlocking the brain, percentage of the brain, and damn, if you do that, what's possible? And when she did it, what she do? She disappeared. Because if you do that, there's no need for a body. You understand how primitive the body is, especially when your consciousness at that point, and energy, which you can create the elements that you need to make physical matter, which is, you know, we can't even do it. It's primitive. This shit is primitive. Yeah, I got into, like I said, I met Brother Polite a long time ago, a couple times. I met Brother Polite in Philly. Used to go to Blackamoors, which is one of my favorite places I used to be at. And met him a couple times before he was like, you know, big and doing his thing. And only heard him reference Dr. York like one time in those encounters. And I didn't really look into Dr. Malachi Z. York until all the controversy shit started coming out about him. And then I saw what I saw. The dude was a Shriner. You know, and like I said, you know, the same thing with Brother Polite. You see the photos with him, with the fez on, and Masonic shit. And you know, I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's just understanding, man, when you get into this shit, like, how can I say this? I mean, I can say it this way without, you know, talking about too much. But you gotta make a sacrifice. It's just that simple. And the sacrifice could be time, or it could be a person. It depends on the options they give you and what route that you're going to be going. So these motherfuckers know if you fucking homosexual. They're going to know that already. So they know what route to put you in. Because you can't do homosexual shit, and that's not you. You just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And if you do it, then you fucking gay. It is what it is. But they go at you with different routes that you gotta take, and you have no choice, and you know, you gotta pick the route, but a sacrifice must be made. So if you look back at a lot of these artists, the beginning, middle of their career, or if they need a boost, what happens? Somebody dies in their family, or they get arrested, and it's just that simple. Oh damn, you want to get here, you got to spend some time. But if you understand esoterically what you need to do and what has to be done, then you do those things, and then it's unspoken. You know what I'm saying? It's unspoken. You don't need to talk to anybody. There's unspoken things. There's things you can do to get the success you want in that esoteric realm from the higher ups that you're never going to know. And then, you know, that's how it works out. And listen, man, I'm giving y'all information straight from people who I know is in, and, you know, celebrities and people who I talk to who we get into this information. Like I said this before in a video, I can't even tell y'all the type of people that contact me about shit, especially on the fucking white people side of things. A lot of skinheads and KKK people talk to me about a lot of shit. But people talk, man, and it's just like I'm an honorable person. I'm not gonna tell, if you tell me to don't say shit, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna tell who you was or who said what or what have you. There's a lot of people who want to know. There's a lot of people who got questions, or I mean, who fucking knows, man? I don't want to get into that too deep, but it's a lot of people who gotta make their sacrifice. So whether it's going to prison or a person, which you don't have a choice in that. A lot of people think that, you know, they come to you and say who you want to be killed, and you have to choose a family member to be killed. That's not how it's done, man. You don't got no choice over that, because then you can just say, hey, just kill this Uncle Harry who I never fucking liked anyway. You have no choice. They know who to pick, and they're going to pick. You're not going to have a choice. You're just going to know when it happens what that was. You understand? So just pay attention to a lot of people, especially in hip-hop, who lost somebody in a weird way, especially with all these shootings. You know, it's like, come on. They know what that is. Like, you know, not because I'm cool with some of these people, I'm not going to get into who, but I know some of these motherfuckers who did the shit, or, well, I can't say who did it. They had no control. So basically, put it this way, you going in the right direction, you already took the cheese, so you're already in, and then you're going in the right direction, you're trending. So without you even asking for this shit, they're going to give it to you. You're already in. So we're going to take this person and that person. We're going to take this person, and we're going to give you what you need to survive. We're going to give you a fucking $100 million contract and shit like that. It just is what it is. Like, that's how that shit works, man. There's people out here who doing rituals trying to sell their soul to the devil just so they can get a fucking a rap contract and all that type of shit. Like, it's no fucking devil you can sell your soul to, so you're wasting your fucking time. People out here with Ouija boards trying to do all this type of shit. Nah. One, you need money. Money to get in. You need the money. And then you need to understand what I'm telling you guys now. The esoteric shit. How to read and understand this shit. And then when you can show that in your music and in your symbolism, you're going to get there. Why the fuck you think Earth, Wind, and Fire put all that shit on their album cover, man? Why do you think Prince and all these people, Michael Jackson, put all that shit on their album cover? All that shit is Illuminati, fucking, all that shit is esoteric for you to get to the next steps and get what you want to get. Pay attention. You know, you think, what's her name, who just released a song on Saturn? What's her name? Fuck yeah, I forget her name. But you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is why they do all that shit. They don't. This shit is just for no reason. The clothes they wear. Fucking Kanye, perfect example with all the fucking Baphomet Saturn shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how this shit works. Let's see. Yeah, right? Just to look rich. OG Bruce Lee, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Darren Miles, what's the deal? Exactly. Drake with the owl. It's so much, it's so many examples we can give. Like, it's out there. Reincarnate to other planets or realms. I mean, that's what, like, reincarnate, like you talk about a body. To reincarnate would be to come back into a body here. So this is where you'll go. You won't reincarnate because, you know, you have to be incarnate, which means you existing now. That's what reincarnate means. Like, you die, you're the real you. You know what I'm saying? You have to, you know, basically respawn to come back here, you know, to make it understandable. I already crushed the Israelites. They don't want to work with me. Yeah, we are in the age of Aquarius right now. Jehovah's Witnesses are hilarious. I got a bunch of Jehovah's Witness friends, and that shit is crazy. That shit is like a cult. Like, you know, you get disowned. You can't talk about certain shit. And matter of fact, I used to date a girl who basically ran away from her Jehovah's Witness family. She had a twin sister, like exactly like her, and she ran away from her family, and they basically had to secretly meet up and talk to her. It's fucking crazy. I could be on this shit all day. Y'all got good questions. I gotta get out of here. I just wanted to come over here and let you guys know what was going on with the live stream. Again, listen, support. What is it? 124 people on here. Make sure you guys go in. The link is in the description. Go and grab the freaking Blackamoors lecture, $19.99. It comes with 3 other videos. So it comes with the first Moors video. It comes with Ancient History Volume 5 and 6. Those are good videos to watch to understand what's in this lecture. It's over 2 hours, and there's a lot of information we got into the beginning of this video. So make sure you guys support and grab it for $19.99 because the price is not going to stay that low. And like I said, we didn't get much support. It was only probably like 16 or 17 people in the lecture. Is what it is, whatever it is. But yeah, the lecture is only going to be available for you guys to grab at this price, and that link is in the description right now. So make sure you guys grab it. We're going to, so what is it? Tomorrow night, there's going to be another live. You know, probably do it Saturday maybe, because I want to give you guys some time to watch the video. So we're going to do a whole live on the Blackamoors video, because I know y'all going to trip off some of the stuff in there and have a lot of questions. So we're going to do a live. We're going to get into that whole thing. I'm going to do a lecture. I want to see how many people I can get in there. I don't know how many it holds. So we're going to end up doing a lecture coming up next week, just like this Blackamoors lecture. So basically you guys can turn your cameras on. We can see each other. We can talk to each other. And I'm going to do a lecture using Google to do that. I'll send out, I'll probably put the link in that live I'll do before that day. So anybody who wants to join that lecture can just go from the link and join the lecture. It'll be free. So we're going to get into a whole lecture where we can all see each other, talk, share information. If you're a fucking troll, don't show up, because I will just block you. Just like I just blocked a couple of them from this shit. Why do people do that? Why do motherfuckers come here and just talk and post dumbass shit? Some of the questions you guys probably didn't even see. Why do people do that shit? Knowing that we just got the power to just block you. Now you block. Like, what's the point of that? Like I said, if you got a legitimate question, if you can prove your religion or your ideology, and you want to debate or talk, fucking email me. Or like the best way to get my attention, honestly, if you got, like I said this before, if you got a serious, legit question, or if you need my help with something as far as with Merkabah Academy, the best way to get a hold of me is the comment section on my Instagram. That's all you got to do, because I see that. So leave a comment in the comment section of Instagram, or send me a message on Instagram to the real Merkabah on Instagram. That's the quickest way. Emails, I'll probably see it, but then I get so many emails, it's probably going to get covered up. But a comment on anything on my the real Merkabah Instagram is the best way, because I see that. I'm on the Instagram a lot, so I'll probably see that. But yeah, for the religious people or what have you, whatever you want to be, Anunnaki want to be, whatever the fuck, if you got some legit information that you want to talk about, just fucking come correct, man. I'm willing to talk with anybody that got knowledge, that got information. I don't fucking know it all. I don't know everything. I'm a student just like you guys. I'm still on a path figuring out shit. I just been doing this for a long time, and nobody has been more obsessed with the shit than me. I don't think it's possible. I've fucking been obsessed with this shit for a long time. So I fucking spent years and years researching shit and traveling to these fucking countries to fucking actually study shit. I mean, but they don't mean shit. You don't gotta fucking travel or have a degree or none of that shit. Read books, do your research, come correct. I'm willing to talk with anybody who can bring something to the table that I might not know. And I'm gonna keep it real. It has happened before, where people would say, "Oh, bro, check this out," and sent me a link, or sent me a paper, or told me about a book, and it expanded on what I had already understood, and just made my understanding even better. This is the conscious community, man. We're supposed to all be conscious and supporting and sharing information. Don't come here with no dickhead shit, and you ain't conscious. Like, for what? What is the point of that? Don't waste your time. Don't do that shit. You got to beef with me, or you mad about whatever it is. We can straighten that shit out. It's not that deep. Like, life is too short. Grow the fuck up. Don't come here with that fucking nonsense. And this is for anybody that's in here now or gonna be watching this shit later when it posts. Like, don't do it to yourself. You're just gonna get banned. And it's not worth it. Then you can't come back no more. Then you gotta create a whole another fucking YouTube just to come back here and talk more shit. So I'm always leery of people who don't got no profile pic, which is understandable, you know, especially this day and age. Like, real shit. I know a lot of people who are Christians who follow me who don't want their peoples to know that they following this shit. So I get that part, but you know, be respectful, man. Nah, it ain't even about being soft. It's about, you know, respect, and about you interrupting other people's legit questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm scrolling through this shit and I gotta read it. And I gotta take the time to read your nonsense. That just took away from time I could be reading somebody else's legit question. Because I'm scanning and it's like, yo, what the fuck they say? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, don't come here. Because there's people here who are actually trying to learn. Listen, I'm a fucking jokester. I'm with the shits. I'm ex-military. All we did in the military on my ship was play games and jokes with each other. So I don't have a sensitive bone in my body for that. I'm with all the pranks and all the fucking insults. I'm with all that, but it's a time and place. You know what I'm saying? As a couple people who left insults, I looked at and laughed. But then some of the shit is like, if you keep repeating that shit, trying to get my attention, it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And so what I usually do is I'll just hide it from you guys so you guys can't see it. Because I know you guys are going to respond to that person, and it's going to detract from what I'm saying and from what we're trying to do here. So what I do is I just, you know, I block it from you guys. But when a person keep posting stupid ass shit, it's like, come on, man, what are you? Like, what is that? Like, nobody got time for that. Time and place. So when we get on, when we do that live stream I was talking about, you motherfuckers got some jokes that's funny, then you can say that shit and I can hear it and it'll be funny and we can laugh about it. I'm with all this shit. You got some new jokes, I would love to fucking hear them. Like, I'm with all that. There's nothing sensitive about me at all. No sensitive bone in my body. It's time and place. That's all it is. I don't want nobody, and it's out of respect for you guys as well, because you guys took the time to come here. What the fuck, we've been on here for over an hour? Like, you guys took the time to come here. It's almost 2 hours we've been here. You guys took the time out of your life to come here to fucking talk and do this shit and have your questions read or whatever the fuck it may be, and then they don't have the, well, they got the right to do whatever the fuck they want, but still, it's disrespectful for you guys to try to take away from that. So yeah, I'm just saying, you know, for people in the future, like, so you don't get fucking cut off, just chill the fuck out. Say your joke or your insult. You black as shit. You got a big ass head. I'ma laugh and leave it alone. I'm just gonna keep it moving. Yeah, there is a process, because that whole process, the feather and the heart, what is that? Thoth Tahuti, the one who has the feather, which represents what? Knowledge. So that's the mind and the heart, which is basically giving you that oneness. It's the yin yang, the connection. It's like God is on the scale. Your soul, when you understand the knowledge, the consciousness, and the heart. The physical, the spiritual. That's what the feather of my eye represents. Truth, all that stuff. And then the heart represents your physical. So remember what happens in the afterlife, the underworld, when you're going through judgment in Egyptian mythology. What happens if you fail? Amit devours your heart, right? Eats your heart, which basically means your physical is done, right? You get reincarnated, you come back, right? It's just all metaphorical. But my eye is everything. My eye is what I talked about before as doing everything in truth. Everything has to be done in truth. Truth is the biggest everything. Truth is universal law. That's what it is, in truth. So there's ways around it. It's loopholes. That's what they're using against us. And to where we're agreeing and accepting truths that they're putting out. You know, if that makes sense. But that's a lot to get into. Keem, I appreciate you too, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, the shirt is funny as shit, yo. This was, I got this shit for like the 4th of July to wear at a fucking barbecue. I think I barbecued in this shirt on the 4th of July. I had some people in town. So yeah, you know, they did the whole barbecue thing, so we had to do all that. But I'm a big Beavis and Butthead fan. I've been watching it. I grew up with that shit. And that shit is hilarious. They got the new ones out now. I ain't really get a chance to catch up with them, but the old ones is the shit. But yeah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta finish this video for you guys. So yeah, hey, make sure you guys, link in the description. Grab the video, $19.99, you get 4 videos. Grab it now before that price, before it comes down. Oh shit, but yeah, make sure you guys grab it. So I tried to make it low as possible. It's fucking $19. You get 4 videos. So people was complaining about fucking $40 for the live and all that. I lowered the price. People still didn't show up. So it is what it is. I made it $19.99 now. Take advantage of that shit. Grab the 4 videos. If you have the time, watch the first Moors video first. You don't have to. But watch that first Moors video that I put out years ago. That's amazing. And then it'll help. But the Blackamoors videos will be out in a couple hours. The link is in the description. Grab it. And as I said, in a couple hours, it'll be added to the rest of those videos. So appreciate the people who are here that came out for the lecture. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. We had fun. We got into a lot of shit. But as I said in the lecture, a bunch of stuff, pre-recorded videos that I did before the live stream is in the finished product. So it's a lot of information we didn't get into in the live that's going to be on the actual download. So it's a lot. You know how I do shit. It was just so much I couldn't fit it all into a live. So yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and grab and support that. And yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to recap all the information for people who've seen it. So either tomorrow or Saturday, we'll do another live and talk about the Blackamoors video. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Love y'all.